Hey everybody, happy Wednesday, and when it's Wednesday here at KatiMorton.com, I'm on the website, and I'm also on YouTube. So if you asked your questions on yesterday's video, and I know some of you get kind of confused, like where do I ask my questions? Well, if you want a question answered on a Wednesday video, ask it under Tuesday's video, and you can ask it on the website under Katie's videos, and then the little thing comes down, and you go down to the bottom, and it says Katie FAQ suggestions. You click that, and then you ask them. So now I have 4, and I have a journal topic. Thanks, Cat22. So let's get going, because today's is usually long, because I have so many questions, so let's get scooting. Okay, question number 1. Says, the journal topic was good. Wasn't that a great journal topic yesterday? That was amazing, so I'm glad you guys liked it. And it's in the description below yesterday's if you're looking for it, okay? But what if my eating disorder didn't start as a coping skill? It started as a diet because I'd been overweight and I felt ugly my entire life. What do you do when your clothes being too tight and the thought of gaining weight back really are the most triggering thing? I don't have some family drama or past abuse to deal with. I just know that no matter how ugly I feel now, gaining back the weight would make me feel even uglier. I'm eating again, but I'm not sure if I'm okay with it. I thought this was a good question because I don't talk about this as often as I talk about using it as a coping skill, because it's just not the questions I get, I suppose. But our eating disorder doesn't have to necessarily be a coping skill in the direct form that we have a trauma or we have some kind of past abuse or tough family life or some kind of struggle that we can like pinpoint and we say that's the issue. Bing! It doesn't have to be like that. A coping skill can be for a lot of different things. And to me, with regard to this question, I had a couple questions like this. It's still a way to deal with something. So you were overweight and you felt ugly, and you've associated feeling ugly with being overweight. And so in order to help yourself feel better, to cope with this feeling of kind of outward or inward ugliness, we lose weight. And that helps us feel better. Does that make sense? So it's still using it as a coping skill. It's not because, like in direct correlation with an incident that happened to us. But it is still used as a coping skill, because no matter if we're doing it just to diet, because why do we diet? Take a second to think about it. Why do we diet? We diet because we don't feel good in the size and the shape that we are. And so then we try to lose weight or restrict our eating or exercise more as a way to deal with that feeling that the fact that we feel ugly or we feel bad or we feel lazy or shameful or whatever we associate with gaining weight. Because that's another interesting thing to think about, is like, what do we associate weight gain with? What do we think about when we think we've gained weight? What does that mean or tell us about ourselves? Those are some good journal topics or things. If you're looking for something to dive deeper into the reason why, that's a good place to start. But it's still a coping skill. I hope that clears that up. I know it's a little confusing, but we're still using it as a way to cope. And it's a way for us to manage how we feel about ourselves. Okay? Question number 2. Hey, Katie, I've been discussing this in some of my psychology classes, so I wanted your input. I know several people have responded with similar questions. And the question is, hey, Katie, is it common for therapists to cry during session? Question mark. Is it perceived as unprofessional, or is it normal and an okay reaction to a client's stories? I am really curious about this because I have a friend whose therapist would cry often during session with her, and she liked it because she felt like the therapist understood her and it helped the relationship. However, I can also see how it can be an uncomfortable thing for clients. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Is a therapist crying during session okay or not? Thank you. This is really interesting. Never really thought about it, to be truthful. I personally don't cry in session with my clients, and here's why. Here's the thing behind it. Because I have heard things that are very sad, and it is hard. But I don't cry in session because I believe, and this is just my opinion, I'm weighing in on this question, when patients come in to see me, the most important thing for them to feel is that they can reveal who they are, their real, true core of their self. They can reveal it all the beautiful, all the unique, all the ugly, all the dark and dreary things about the whole shebang. And I can hold it for them. I can allow them to release that into the room of my office, and I can sit with them and we can acknowledge, and it can be okay. it can be really healing to have that happen, I believe. I believe that that can be one of the most powerful things of therapy, is to know that you can be your authentic self and someone accepts that and allows you to process through what that means to have this good and this dark and dreary, and to how do we feel about each thing. And yeah, so I don't get emotionally involved in it. I'm there to help support you to hold all of that so that you can feel completely emotionally overwhelmed, and I can keep you calm. I can keep you here. I can keep you grounded. We can talk about it. And for me to get emotionally involved then would make me feel like I was having some kind of countertransference, which if you want to know what that is, you can look it up, but it's a term that as a therapist, we try to avoid having that. And I don't want to be emotionally involved. I want to be there to help you through your emotional process. It's not about me. It's all about you. And with that being said, I have cried with clients when it was their last session. I think that's the only time I've ever cried with a client, when they were leaving. And it's because I'm going to miss them, but it's exciting. It's like a happy cry, like, oh, good for you. You know, you've done so well. Think about all the things we've gone through together and all things you've worked through. So yeah, that's my answer. Okay. Question number 3. Hey, Katie, I have a relationship question. People often say that with the right person, a relationship is easy. But if you have a history of childhood abuse and self-harm / eating disorder behaviors, then will a romantic relationship ever be easy? How do you know if you should give up on a relationship or keep working on it? How do you do you ever recommend couples counseling? I thought this was a really good question because people do say that, and I've even said that to people before. Some of my friends who are in particularly difficult relationships, I'm like, it should just be easy. You shouldn't have to fight all the time. But when we're going through something, I believe that it is harder. Like if we have an abusive past in general, if we've been sexually abused, having sex with someone that we love can be really difficult. And it's something that can take time. And that's why usually when I have clients who are overcoming childhood abuse, I recommend that they work on their abuse and process through it prior to starting a serious relationship, if they can. They may already be in one, but I find that to be the most healing because we can work on ourselves without worry of someone else, what someone else is feeling, thinking. Are we not moving fast enough with them? Are we moving too fast with them? Or what, I'm uncomfortable. I have to stop in the middle. I can't have sex, whatever. However we feel, I prefer my clients not to have the guilt attached to that because they care about someone else and struggling to explain it to them and all that comes along with that. So I always recommend they work through that prior to. Now, if we have done that, a relationship should be pretty easy. It may take you a little longer. You may be more slow to warm, as I like to call it. Like we're a little apprehensive about relationships, which is normal and that's okay. But once we know someone, we care about someone, we get into a serious relationship with someone and we're opening ourselves up to them, they will know what's happened to us. They'll know what we've gone through. And it should be pretty easy to navigate the waters of having a loving sexual relationship with someone. Now, is that easy? No, it can be really, really hard. But most of the work that we would put in would be prior to the actual relationship. And then during it, it's more just explaining what we've worked on and kind of preparing them for things maybe a little difficult. I haven't done this before. Be patient with me. And by the time you're in that kind of a relationship and you're talking about it, I would assume that the person loves you, cares about you, wants to make you comfortable and happy. And yeah, I hope that makes sense and kind of clears that up. I know we always say it should be easy, but let's be honest. All relationships in our life are work one way or another, and you can either choose to work positively on them or you can choose to work negatively, and you'll go apart from each other. So I think that you can have a wonderful, healthy, and somewhat easy relationship. Okay? Question number 4. Hey, Katie. Oh, and I forgot. How do you know if you should give up on a relationship or keep working on it? If the person isn't treating you with respect and love, then I would stop working on it. I would keep working on it if it's just a communication struggle and you're really trying together and they're really in it with you, but it's just hard. I'd keep working on it, but it's about how they talk to you. It's about how they manage it with you. It should be with you. And if you feel like it's kind of bordering on emotional abuse, run away. Run away. And do I ever recommend couples counseling? All the time. Couples counseling is amazing. It can really help you communicate in a safe place, and you can say things that you may not feel comfortable saying to the other person when you're on your own because of how they may react. Okay? Question number 4. Hey, Katie, so my therapist suggested that I write a letter to my abuser. It's a great suggestion. And expressing details and all my anger out onto paper. Since I've started doing that, I feel like I'm reliving everything again, the memories, the pain, etc. I know it's for a good purpose, but it's been really battling my thoughts and it's gotten really, really hard. I don't know what to do about it. I feel completely confused. Please help. So when we do this, it's all part of the healing process. And I would encourage you to keep pushing through, because even though it's really difficult and you're reliving it, it's part of the healing process. I would express to your therapist that it's really hard and you may be moving too fast. She may just need to slow you down. Maybe this isn't the right time for you to do it, or maybe we start in smaller chunks, or maybe you increase your number of sessions. But it's very, very normal to feel really overwhelmed, like you're reliving it. But that's part of the healing process. And unfortunately, it's the best way for us to move past it. And as we come into each difficult part of that situation that we're kind of reliving or talking about, we can calm ourselves back down. We can have a safe place that we, go to in our head, and we can talk with our therapist, and we can be okay with it as we work through it. But yeah, I'd be as open as you can with your therapist, and it may just be that you're moving too fast, or it may be that you just need a little extra support while you're doing this. Okay? Hang in there. It will get better. I promise. Now, journal topic. Thanks, Kat22. It is a quote, and it says, to get up when you're down, to fight more intensely when you're struggling, to put in the extra effort when you're in sheer pain, to come back when nobody expects you to, and to stand tall when everyone is pulling you down is what makes you a champion. And that's by Apoorve Dubey. I'm probably saying that really wrong, like every other person's name that I try to pronounce. But I think that's really cool. It reminds me of like Rocky, where you're like, da 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 da, and you're like totally kicking ass. And I think it's important for us to recognize those times when everybody is saying no, and they're telling us that we're not good enough or we can't, and they're pulling you down, and they're telling you can't go any further, and we break through, and we go anyways. We stand back up. We get back on the horse. We keep riding. So share with me challenges you've met and how you've overcome them, and share how it's worked below. Like, tell us how you overcame it. Maybe offering these tips and tricks for kind of our perseverance will help motivate others who are struggling to get back up and they're feeling really beat down and held back. And sharing in our challenges and how we overcame them and what worked could be the best thing to help propel us into the next thing and overcoming that, so that we can, be like Rocky and we stand on top and we're like, yay. So thank you, Kat22, for sending that to me. I will see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday, so I'll be on Tumblr, or no, not Tumblr. Geez, that's Tuesday. I'll be on Twitter. So ask your questions using the hashtag KDFAQ and I'll answer them. Okay, see you then. Bye.